No one knew where she came from or who she was. One morning, before the market drum sounded, a woman appeared at the edge of Obakpa village. She carried a large woven basket on her head and a rolled mat under her arm. Her wrapper was plain, her feet dusty, her face calm. By midday, she had already rented a small empty stall beside the pepper sellers. Before sunset, she had neatly arranged dozens of clean white eggs on a wooden table. The way she handled them, slow, steady, careful, made people stop to look. When the women in the market asked her name, she smiled and said softly, "My name is Nnenna. I sell eggs." She didn't say more. She didn't say where she came from. From that day, everyone called her the Egg Woman. Her stall quickly stood out. Her eggs were smooth, spotless, and bigger than anyone else's. They looked almost too perfect, and they were cheaper. While others sold a dozen for 50 naira, Nnenna sold hers for 35. The villagers loved the bargain, so they rushed to her stall. "Ah, Nnenna, your eggs fine oh, like imported one," Mama Joma said, laughing. "Thank you, ma," Nnenna replied with her usual warm smile. "Come tomorrow, I'll add one for free." That was how she won their hearts, through small kindnesses. Every morning, she arrived early, sweeping the dust in front of her store before others even woke. She greeted everyone cheerfully, helped customers count their money, and gave eggs on credit to those who were broke. To the women, she said, "Don't worry, when blessings come, you will pay." To the children, she said, "Take this boiled egg, it will give you strength." Even those who didn't need eggs started buying just to feel her warmth. By the second week, she had become part of the village. People called her our daughter, even though she had no known family. The Baale himself bought from her. When he offered payment, she bowed and said, "No, chief, please take it as a gift." The Baale laughed proudly and blessed her business. From that day, Nnenna's name spread. Her shop was always full. The other egg sellers couldn't compete, but they couldn't even hate her. She was too kind, too soft-spoken, too humble. But there were small things people didn't notice. She never bought from anyone else. No one ever saw her carry crates of eggs into her hut. Yet, every morning, her table was full again. And when she smiled at people, her gaze always lingered, steady, focused, as if she was studying their faces. At night, those who lived near her hut said they sometimes heard her singing softly. The sound was gentle, almost like a lullaby. Others said they heard her talking, low, steady whispers, as though she was speaking to someone. But she lived alone. When the women mentioned it, others laughed. "She's a prayerful woman," they said. "Leave her alone." The weeks passed peacefully, too peacefully. The village grew calmer in strange ways. Husbands stopped shouting at their wives. Children became unusually obedient. Traders shared customers without fighting. Since that Nnenna came, peace has entered Obakpa, people said. But one man wasn't convinced. Okore, the palm wine tapper who lived behind the stream. He often passed by her hut at night on his way back from the trees. One evening, as he walked quietly under the moonlight, he noticed a flicker of light from her window. Curiosity held him. He stopped and looked through the small space between the wooden shutters. What he saw made his heart thump. Nnenna was kneeling beside a clay pot. In front of her was a basket of eggs, glowing faintly under the oil lamp. She wasn't praying. She was whispering to the eggs, her lips moving fast, her eyes fixed as though she was speaking to something alive. He stepped back quietly, his throat dry. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept hearing her voice in his mind, soft, calm, yet strange. The next morning, he tried to tell the others, but they laughed. "Ah, Okore, maybe you drank too much palm wine," they said. So he kept quiet, but deep inside, he knew something wasn't right. The woman who smiled too easily, who gave freely, who brought too much peace. There was something behind it all. And whatever it was already spreading through Obakpa. The market, once filled with shouting and quarrels, now echoed with laughter and gentle greetings. The women no longer fought over space. Nnenna's eggs were now in every home. Her kindness made it easy to love her. When Mama Adaize's son fell ill, Nnenna visited their home with boiled eggs and a pot of pepper soup. When a young girl lost her mother, Nnenna took her in for a week until the burial. Even when thieves broke into her neighbor's store, she shared her own money to help them recover. Everyone said, that woman is too good for this world. But Okorie didn't feel the same peace. The people were calm, yes, but also too quiet, as if their hearts had fallen asleep. He noticed that the more they ate Nnenna's eggs, the less they complained about anything. The blacksmith, once loud and proud, now walked in silence. The Baale, who never missed a meeting, suddenly stayed at home every day, sitting under the mango tree with a blank stare. Even Mama Adaize, who once talked endlessly, now only smiled politely and said, everything is fine. No one got angry anymore, no one gossiped, no one cared about anything. To the villagers, it was peace. To Okorie, it was frightening. He began watching Nnenna closely. One morning, he saw her walking behind the market to the stream. She scooped water into a small clay pot, whispered something into it, and poured it over her basket of eggs. When she saw him watching, she smiled. Brother Okorie, you're awake early. The air is fresh today, she said kindly. He forced a smile. Yes, fresh indeed. That night, the market women spoke again. She's a blessing, said one. She even prays for us, said another. But one old woman frowned. She looks like someone I used to know, she said slowly. Long ago, there was a young woman like her who lived near the stream until the villagers drove her away after her husband died. Her name was also Nnenna. The others laughed. That one? She's dead. Don't start old stories. But the old woman didn't laugh. She shook her head slowly. If it's truly her, may God protect us. The next morning, the Baale declared the market blessed. He said Obakpa had found a daughter sent by heaven. A feast was held, and Nnenna provided the eggs for every home. That night, Okorie couldn't sleep. The memory of her chanting by the lamplight still burned in his mind. He decided he would find out the truth. Under the full moon, he followed her again into the forest. There, beneath a tall iroko tree, he saw a large clay pot surrounded by ashes and feathers. Nnenna uncovered her basket. Inside were eggs, large, smooth, glowing softly. She began to chant, "Those who eat from me will forget. Their anger will fade. Their will shall become mine. Peace will blind them like sleep." Her voice was calm, powerful. The eggs glowed brighter with each word. Then, one cracked open. A thick red liquid oozed out. She dipped her finger into it and marked her forehead. "Peace to the hearts that wronged me," she whispered. Okorie gasped. The leaf beneath his foot cracked. Her head turned sharply. Her eyes glowed faintly in the moonlight. "Who's there?" He ducked behind a tree, trembling. Her voice echoed, "Whoever watches what they don't understand, may their heart tremble till it breaks." The forest went silent. When she left, Okorie checked the pot. It was full of cracked shells, streaked with thin red veins. He knew then her peace came from something dark. At dawn, he ran through the market shouting, "Stop eating her eggs! She's using them to control you!" but they laughed. Okore, you've started again. Even the Baale smiled faintly, his eyes blank. Then Nnenna appeared, calm as ever. Brother Okore, she said softly, you look tired. Take one egg. It will help you rest. Her voice was warm, her eyes sharp. He shouted, you are controlling them. She only smiled. You say I bring harm. Tell me, have you seen anyone fight? Have you seen anyone hungry? Everyone sleeps well now. That night, Okore returned home. His mother sat quietly, peeling boiled eggs. Mama, don't eat that. He cried. She gave them to me. She said calmly, they will make me strong. He tried to grab the plate, but her grip was like iron. Okore, she said, sit down, go to bed. That night, the only sound in Obakpa was Nnenna's soft singing from her hot window. She looked towards Okore's home. On her table sat one glowing egg. She placed her palm over it and whispered, one heart still resists me, but not for long. The next day, Okore went to the Baale's compound. Chief, please, she's controlling us all. The Baale smiled faintly. Nnenna is a blessing. Since she came, there's been no pain, no anger, no hunger. That's not peace, Okore shouted. That's control. A voice came from behind. You speak as if peace and control are not the same. Nnenna stood at the gate, her wrapper spotless, her eyes unreadable. Do you know who I am? She asked. Okore said, a witch. She smiled sadly. No, I was one of you. Then she told them how years ago her husband died and the villagers called her cursed. They burnt her hut and cast her out. I left with nothing, she said. I learned to turn my pain into silence, my silence into power. She uncovered the basket. The eggs shimmered softly. Each egg carries a part of my grief. Whoever eats from me feels peace because their will sleeps, just as mine once did when this village crushed my spirit. Okore's eyes filled with tears. But this is injustice. Nnenna, you've become what they once were. Maybe, she said, that's the only way they will understand. She took one egg and held it toward him. You're the last one awake. Eat this, you'll finally rest. He shook his head. I'll rather suffer than live empty. A tear rolled down her cheek. Then you will carry this pain alone. She turned away and walked toward the stream. By morning, she was gone. Only her footprints remained in the sand. People slowly awoke from their trance, confused but free. No one remembered Nnenna, not her face, not her stall, not her name. Only Okore remembered. He sat by the stream and whispered, maybe she didn't want revenge. Maybe she just wanted them to feel her silence. The moral of this story: pain has a voice. When ignored, it learns to speak in other ways. True peace cannot be built on silence or control. But peace without freedom is just another kind of prison.